Okay, welcome everybody to Let's Read. So this is how I'm going to do it. For this video only, this one video, I'm going to go ahead and read to y'all the first and second chapters, which I have already told y'all about. But y'all will get me, I will be read it to you, and you'll have the full thing of it. Hold on a second. Had to answer Becca on Skype. Okay, so let me go back. I hadn't even pulled this up. I should have done this before I started the video. Anyway, even though I have done told y'all about the first and second chapter, I was just telling you about it. And there's probably a lot of little things that I left out, little details, that they put in books that I couldn't remember, wasn't even going to begin to try to remember to tell y'all, all that kind of little stuff. So you'll be getting every bit of it from me then. And since I have not done this yet either, if I can find it, hang on. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all the book front and tell y'all the name of it. I can find it. There it is. So, let me make sure. Okay. So, now I gotta figure out. So that's the front of the book, what it looks like. And that's the name of the book, Murder Pit. The Murder Pit. Alright, so now let me get back to the beginning of the first chapter. I gotta get through all of this, the beginnings of it and the table of contents and all of that. Get back to the... Sorry about this, y'all. These are not very long chapters. I don't think, to me, because it's on a phone, it just seems like the chapter is really, really short, that it's not as long as a normal when you hold a book, Alright, for chapter 1. Now, here we go. So it's Daisy, the lady that's in the thing. She's the one that's talking, okay, doing the narrating, I think, and stuff like that. Alright, I wanted an old house. I did not want an old house with a dead body in it. See, it started out like that right off, and I didn't even tell y'all that part. I built up to it, to where they found it. See, so, alright. Move the light a little, Jake said. It actually seemed more like his behind said it, because at the moment he was on his hands and knees trying to fit into an elevated 3.5-foot crawl space that appeared to not have been entered in close to 150 years, given that he was a little over 6 feet and 200 pounds. He was struggling and being stubborn. Why don't you just let me get up there, I said, trying to move the light to wherever he wanted it. I'm half your size. More to the left, his behind said. Because we have no idea what is up here. Okay, y'all realize me. I don't know how to keep all of the marks, the periods, the commas, the, equation marks. I don't know how to make my voice sound to those, so a lot of times I have to back up after I read a sentence and it sounds different. I have to back up and reread it again, because I don't know, it stops there and it sounds funny, so I back up and I just have to explain myself. So Elizabeth's in her room. I thought she was coming out. Okay, so I'm gonna start this one over. More to the left. See, I gotta go back. Y'all give me a minute. Bear with me here. I'm sorry. "Why don't you just let me get up there?" I said, trying to move the light to wherever he wanted it. "I'm half your size." "More to the left," his behind said, "because we have no idea what is up here." "Well, we know there's a frozen pipe up there," I said. He grunted, which I knew was his way of telling me that he didn't think I was funny. I got that a lot. My husband of 6 months was in the crawl space of our 150-year-old home for a couple of reasons. The aforementioned frozen pipe, which is more or less a regular thing when you have to deal with Minnesota winters. So did I ever even tell y'all that they were in Minnesota? I can't remember that. And because we owned a 150-year-old home, when I got divorced, I also divorced myself of the 5,000 square foot modern monastery that had been forced upon me by first husband. I'd made mistakes in both husband and house choosing. So when we finally cut the cord, I decided I wanted a house with character. It took me 2 years to find the right house, and during that time, I'd also found the right husband. Jake, the one boy I'd truly loved in high school, had found his way back into my life, and we'd picked up right where we'd left off 20 years earlier. Did I even say that they were high school boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever? Probably not, I don't remember. Okay. And right before our wedding and merging our families, I'd found my house with character. A century and a half old. Have I mentioned that already? Right next to the railroad tracks. 1 bathroom, a dilapidated garage, doors that didn't close properly, a hole in the roof, bats in the attic, a much rumored ghost. Jake stood outside with the realtor the first time we saw it and said, "This might have too much character, Daisy." But it didn't. I'd fallen in love with the original wood floors and the narrow staircase and the small rooms and the stories that were lurking in the walls. I wanted it, and when he saw how much I wanted it, he relented with a smile and a shake of his head. And now he was trying to get a hairdryer close enough to a frozen pipe to thaw it out. I couldn't see his face, but I was fairly certain there was no smile. "I can't reach it," he said. "Which is why I should be up there," I reminded him. He muttered something and slid himself backwards, his feet coming out first. He lowered himself down to the ground, easing his way over the concrete ledge that made up the floor of the crawl space. I tightened the elastic wrapped in my hair, tugging the ponytail to make sure it was tight. "You look like one of those people," I said to him. He surveyed his dirt and dust-covered body. "A coal miner?" "No, one of those people in, I think this is Pompeii, Pompei. I don't know what it is or where it is or what it means. It's, I guess, a joke. I don't know. I don't understand it. Maybe y'all do. Okay. "The ancient massive," and then it goes on to tell stupid me if I'd shut up and read on, and said I'd even read this and didn't remember it, but anyway. "The ancient massive volcano? I don't even know what you're talking about." "I know," I said, taking the hairdryer from him. "But I still love you. Now boost me up." He lifted me up and I slithered into the dirty concrete space. Spider webs clogged the wooden beams above my head and the dust lifted up into my eyes and mouth. I coughed and wiped at my eyes. "Having fun yet?" Jake asked. Pretty sure he was smiling now. I ignored him and crawled forward on my elbows, trying to get to the back wall where the offending pipe from the kitchen was located. He angled the flashlight for me, and I saw the pipe up above me and next to the brick wall. I reached out to touch it and was glad my fingers weren't wet because it was so icy cold. I was certain my flesh would have stuck permanently to the frozen metal. See, I probably didn't tell you all that a little bit. And there wasn't enough room for Jake to come up and help me. I looked down, squinting in the darkened space, trying to locate the hairdryer. I saw it, the pearly gray barrel blending in seamlessly with the layer of dust and dirt. But I saw something else too. Did you see this? I asked, my eyes zeroing in on the floor. See what? He said. My eyes were full of dirt. This door, did you see it? No, I was looking for the pipe. There's a door, I told him, like a wooden door that opens up. Excellent. Can you get the hairdryer up there now so the pipe doesn't burst? Man. But I was enamored with the door. It was about 3 feet by 3 feet, made of several 2 by 2, made of several 2 by 4s. I used my hand to clear the dust from it. Excuse me. A splinter sliced into my palm and I winced. But even that couldn't deter me. There's a hole, I said, to pull it up and open it. Daisy, he said sternly, the pipe. Just a second, I said. I stuck my fingers into the hole and tried to lift it out, but it was too heavy. Do you have a screwdriver? No, liar, there's one right there on the table. He sighed, and a moment later slid the screwdriver into the space. I reached back with my hand, grabbed it, and brought it over to the door. If that pipe burst, oh please, I said, it'll be fine. It's been frozen for hours. A few more minutes isn't going to hurt. Did you know there was a door here? Where would it go? I don't know, he said. To some place beneath the crawl space? I'd never even thought about the crawl space actually being above something. It was just sort of there, this elevated concrete space in our basement, that after studying for about half a second, I decided would be good for storing things. To me, it was like a bonus shelf, 4 feet off the basement floor. I had already thought of putting valuables up there off the floor that our home inspector had warned me might be, I can't say this word right, susceptible to flooding. But the area underneath the concrete tomb that the crawl space created. Okay, I'm going to go back and read that one. But the area underneath the concrete tomb that the crawl space created, my mind was already spinning. I was thinking of secret tunnels and buried treasure and mementos left by previous residents. That's how I would think. I didn't want to see what was down there. I needed to see. I wedged the screwdriver into the hole, set my elbow against the concrete, and lifted the door up out of the ground. It lifted easily, and I used my other hand to get it out of the square and slid it to the side. I got it, I yelled. It's off. Do not fall in, Daisy, Jake said. Throw me the flashlight, I said. You have 1 minute, Jake said, rolling the flashlight toward me. And then I want that hairdryer on that pipe before this basement fills with water and drains our bank account. Well, what's left of our bank account? Yeah, I said, grabbing the light. I propped myself up on my elbows and dangled the light down into the now open door. The drop down was about 12 feet, and the walls were made entirely of metal. I felt a twinge of disappointment. It looked like an old coal chute. Did I say that right? Coal chute? I did not see a tunnel. I did not see treasure. Daisy, Jake asked. What do you see? I angled the light again, searching every crevice of the space. The light flickered over something, and my hand stilled before it began to tremble. I tried to steady the beam of light to make sure I was seeing what I thought I was seeing. I swallowed hard and wiped at the cobwebs clinging to my face. I see a pair of shoes, I said. Shoes? Jake asked. Yeah, I swallowed again. And someone's in them. Okay, so that's chapter 1. It's 15 minutes into the video. I thought I could get through it faster than that, so I'm going to let this be one video, and later I'll do another video of the second chapter. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. I'm out of here until next time I'm done. I'm going toodaloo.